You're already ahead of 99% of people your age if you can express yourself confidently. And statistics show that through being able to express yourself confidently, you not only have higher paying jobs, right? You get better at relationships, and on top of that, you get to be confident in a world where everyone just feels awkward and is unsure of themselves. And so the demand for good communicators is rising, but the supply for it is actually shrinking because everyone's on their phones, everyone's texting, and not learning how to communicate to improve their life. And it's not like you need to be amazing at it, right? I certainly never was, and I'll talk to you about that in just a second. You just need to be good at it, right? You need to be better than most people at it. And that brings me onto my story of why we're even making this video. Well, I struggled with communication, believe it or not, for years. Back when I was in school, everything I'd ever say, people would just make fun of me for. I actually had a very bad stuttering problem because that single mistake of me not knowing how to communicate changed and reshaped my whole entire mindset in such a negative way. And if you're feeling like you can't express yourself, you just feel like this tense feeling of people just are going to make fun of you, or anything that you might say might trigger someone, offend someone, right? I've been there in the corner of my classroom after being so fed up with communicating with anybody, talking to anyone, having no friends, that I got so fed up and I started researching on how to talk to girls. First of all, that was the first thing. I was just being made fun of constantly. And actually, funnily enough, when I was getting bullied for my bad communication skills in school, I actually went up to my teacher and I said, people are making fun of me. And this strict science teacher, I'll never forget, he said very loudly in front of everyone in the classroom, literally, you need to improve your stutter and you need to stop saying so much rubbish. And that made me cry, guys. I literally couldn't even handle it. And so I had no friends, I didn't talk to anyone, I was getting bullied. And that's just one single mistake that I probably could have fixed sooner rather than later. And that's what I want to talk to you about today. But to clarify a few things, you need to understand that great communication isn't about having perfect words. Great communication has so much more to it, but we're going to simplify it so you can actually take it within yourself too and probably improve your life drastically, right? And not go through the things that I went through. Because if I didn't fix it, then I would never have a high paying job. I've done many jobs now which require very good speaking ability, like selling, talking about certain products and so on. Like that, it's difficult, okay? Even doing YouTube. Try recording yourself and talking to the camera. It's very difficult. And so with that point of great communication isn't about having perfect words, then what is it? Well, it's about having the self-awareness, first of all, that your communication might not be great. If you're watching this video up until this point, then well done. Obviously, you probably understand just a little bit that your communication isn't fantastic. Good. But the self-awareness to just be humble enough to say, you know what, I need to improve my speaking because people are making fun of me, or whatever reason it may be, right? This girl isn't talking to me, this boy isn't talking to me, doesn't matter what it is. Having self-awareness that you are a bad communicator is really important. Have you ever wondered why some people who talk a lot, maybe that's you, maybe that's me on this video right now, they're not heard? But other people say very little and people listen to them like it's their last words. And so confidence, presence and clarity matter way more than just words. And that single mistake that I mentioned about me being very bad at communicating in school reshaped my whole entire confidence. I shouldn't have let that bring me down, and if you're watching this video and you feel like your communication is bad, you shouldn't let your confidence be brought down because of it. It will be brought down, but that's why you're watching this video. And so this doubt led to just overthinking and having weak communication. And because of this, people can sense your lack of confidence. We're actually just going to talk about what you can do and get straight into it. The first thing is you have to shift your intention, right? You need to focus on connecting and not impressing. Ask the people, that you're talking to questions. Don't just start talking so much about what you do, your interests and so on. Just ask them what their interests are. Just ask them, how are you doing? Why are you feeling this way? Or, oh, that's a nice interesting hobby that you're getting into, tell me more. If you can do that as many times throughout the day, I promise you, you'll not only feel gratitude for yourself, but you'll actually appreciate the fact that, like, somebody is able to express themselves, and you can do that whilst you're being in the present moment and not thinking about other things, like what are they going to think about me? Because that ultimately isn't even going to help you. And so just trying too hard makes you nervous, and connection makes you natural. And when it comes to the point of making great communication a part of your habit, and not remembering obviously that, like, it's not about perfect words, is reading more. I read so much when it comes to understanding the eloquence of using language that interests other people. And so what I mean by this is just expanding your vocabulary and improving your sentence structure. Read books and just really understand the chapter, really understand how the author is writing, because that's the way they hook you. That's the way I hook you with the start of this video, okay? And just 10 minutes a day, just read a book, read the article wherever you're at, if you're working, if you're at school, college, doesn't matter, university, just read the first few lines or read a whole page and just understand what is the structure of this. Okay, it's talking about this point, we're going to go over it in a second, right? It's talking about this point, and then they're explaining it, and then they're asking a question for me to self-reflect. And that's why I'm interested. You know, they're asking me a question. And if you've stuck up until this point in time of the video, congratulations, because now you're about to get the real source. First of all, we'd already talked about self-awareness and asking other people questions, the person that you're talking to, right? If you see a girl that you like, because no girl likes to hear about your plans, your goals constantly every single time, and her being unable to express herself. That's if you're a guy watching this. The same actually applies if you're a girl trying to attract a guy, or you're just trying to have good communication in general for, like, getting a better job or being in an interview and so on. Do you see how, like, intelligent you become when it comes to communication? If you can do that with, you know, your colleagues, your boss, or, like, you know, you're in school, you're talking to your teacher to understand a certain thing, you're talking to your friends, you will become the most interesting person in the room. I promise you that right now. So after you've had the conversation, so that it's not an awkward, oh, like, okay, bye, right? You're going to close it off by expressing the fact that this was a very interesting conversation and you enjoyed their time and you want to talk to them again. Yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it for today's video. I'm sorry if it was a bit unstructured. I didn't want to really plan it, but I wanted to talk to you about this because it's very important, right? Who do you want to be? Do you want to be this guy or do you want to be this guy, right? It's very important. Yeah, I didn't explain this whiteboard at all. I was holding a pen like I'm some kind of, I don't know, professor, but guys, I've literally just been doing nothing this whole time, just talking to you. But I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye.